Hey everybody, Gabe Jenkins back with you, working on SolidWorks part number 8. Coming to you from the CCA College and Career Accelerator, accelerating your future. Hope you're having a wonderful time with SolidWorks. This is again, it's another part that's really a lot more based on sketching and skill with sketching, but we'll see how it goes here. There's one thing that I really want to show you that I highlighted in the preview video, which is the use of a mid-plane extrusion. So I'm going to show you how to do that and then why I did that. And I also want to let you know, I made a mistake in the preview video. So if you are one of the people who's looking at this and you're doing the walkthrough and you're seeing me do it, just a quick heads up. In the preview, I might have said that this is a radius of, I might have said that this is a diameter of 10, a radius of 10. When I did my first shape, I accidentally put this in as a diameter of 10. And when I told the mass, it was based on that figure that I created. But a student wonderfully helped me to see, he and I came up with different numbers and I had him check my work. And it turns out that he was right and I made the mistake. And so when the mass is now updated in the assignment, and the mass is based on the diameter of 10 for this little circle right here, not a radius. I'm sorry, for a diameter of 20, a radius of 10. Keep messing it up. Anyway, so we're making this shape right here, and let's get started. So I'm going to start off by making a new shape. It is, I think it's titanium using MMGS as my units. First thing I'm going to do is to make I'm going to make this kind of central cylinder right here, and you'll see why in a second. So I'm going to go to my top plane, new sketch, and I'm going to make 2 circles, and I'm going to dimension them. My outer one here has a diameter of 44. My inner one has a diameter of 22. Great. I'm going to extrude those now. Now here's what I want you to see. Normally we've been doing extrusions in one direction, unidirectional extrusions, right? So like whatever the sketch plane was, make it go this direction or make it go that direction, right? Here's what I want you to see. Because I'm noticing that this feature right here is kind of the same on the top as it is on the bottom. Like these are the top thing is a mirror image of the bottom thing. I realize that if I make the center point, like this center plane of this shape, if I make it a bidirectional mid-plane, 2-directional extrusion, I can then use that plane as a mirror, as a mirroring reflective surface. So I've done that. The whole thing from here to here is 38. So I'm going to type in 38, and you can see it's going 19 up, 19 down from that central plane. And hit OK. All right, so that first part's done. I'm now going to basically make this whole big sketch. Now this is a challenging sketch, I thought, given where we are, right? So I'm going to be drawing actually like on the top of this thing. I'm not drawing on the front plane. No, I'm actually drawing on the top. So I'm going to click on that plane, right click, and I'm going to say new sketch here. Let me zoom away a little bit. I'm going to start off with a lot of construction geometry, right? So I want to locate the center point of that circle up there, and then I'm going to locate the center point of that circle over there. So first thing I notice is it goes 72 up. So I'm going to make a line that goes 72 up. And I'm going to make another line that goes 72 over. 72 over. Okay, now I'm going to make my circles. Let me zoom out a little bit. Okay. On the top here, I got one circle that has a diameter of, the outer one has a diameter of 32 and the inner one has a diameter of 16. So, make my circles. 2 of them. The outer one has a diameter of, what did I say, 32. And the inner one had a diameter of 16. Great. Now I'm going to make some circles over here. And these are 20 and 8. These are smaller. 20 and 8. So I'm going to say 8. And this one's going to be 20. All right. So let's just think, what do we have right here? We got two big circles here, two little circles here, and it looks like we have a circle here. But this is, remember, this is part of the old sketch. It's like the top. It's we're drawn on the top of an old shape. So even though I see a circle here, and even though I run my cursor over it and I see it turns orange, it can locate that thing. But that is not part of this sketch. And so if I want to make anything, if I'm trying to make a closed contour here, it's all part of the same sketch, I'm going to have to replicate that circle, right? So I'm going to make one more circle, and I'm going to say, it's going to go out to here, and I'm going to dimension it and say it's the same amount that it was before, and say 44, cool. All right, now it's time to join up some of these shapes, right? So I'm going to take a line, click over here, and I'm going to hover until I see a little, click on it, and I'm going to make sure that it knows I want these things to be tangent. So I clicked on the line, then I held Control and clicked on the other one, and so now I've got selecting both of those objects, right? So select, whoop, my bad, select the line, and I want them to be tangent. Oh, maybe it's too much. All right, it's over-defined. All right, so it's fine. All right, now I've got to make the center point of that circle right there, so I know how to join up those things, because there's going to be some tangent lines going up there. So I know I need to go up 34 and over 29.19. So I'm going to go take this, make a construction line. I'm going to go over a certain amount and up a certain amount, and it's going to be, I don't know, it's going to be somewhere up in here, right? And so it's going to be up is what, 34.93, and over from here to here, whoa, don't know what's going on there. Okay, and from here to here is going to be 29.19. So that's going to be the center point of that circle. That circle is going to have a radius of 10 or a diameter of 20. All right, so we're doing great right here, right? Now I'm going to join up some of these lines and make sure that I make these tangent. Okay, and I'm hovering over the circle until I see that little tangent marker right there. Next, there's several ways I could do this, right? I could try to make perimeter circles, or I could make giant circles and then just make them tangent. I've had mixed luck with a lot of different choices here. So let's just for the sake of argument, let's make a center circle somewhere over here, and again we're going to try to make, what I'm trying to do is this line right here, this arc that's tangent on the bottom here and tangent kind of over on the top over here, and that's going to be with a radius of 100, so a diameter of 200. Okay, so what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to just drag it. I'm going to pick it up and move it so it's roughly in the right spot. Now if I zoom in, it's almost right, right? So if I click on this circle and click on that circle, and I say I want those two things to be tangent, and now I click on OK. Now if I click on this circle and say I want those two things to be tangent, great. Now it knows that all of these elements have to be tangent. I'm going to trim away some of the parts that I don't want. There's a tiny little part in there that I got to get rid of. Okay, trim away that part. And I know it looks like there's a whole bar, huge, that's just actually, it's just that dimension. Okay, so cool beans. All right. that's an element. Okay, that's just something else. All right. Last, I got to make, not last. Next, I have to connect this to that. And this is going to have a radius of 45. So I can do the same thing I just did. I can make another circle and have it be a radius of 45 or a diameter. Radius is 45, diameter is always 2 times the radius. So it's 90. Okay? Then going to take my little circle and pick it up by the middle, move it kind of where it needs to go, and then I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to make those things, make them tangent. So I'm just establishing relationships between different elements of my diagram, right? So that is an established element. Then I want this thing to be tangent to this thing. Okay? Zoom out. And I'm going to trim away the parts I don't care about, and I'm left with that. Now, this paused, the very first time I looked at it, I was like, I'm like, why is this not a closed contour? Well, I realized there's actually several closed contours here. So I could go back and I can trim away all the parts I don't want, or I think I can just leave it like that. So let's just leave it like that and see if I can extrude. Well, let me trim away this part because I know I don't want that. I know I don't want this part there. Okay. So I got a closed profile here. It doesn't really know exactly what I want to do with all of this, right? And so here's what I'm going to try to do. Try to just see if I can make a sketch. See if I can do this. Ready? So I'm going to say I'm going to make extruded boss base, and it's asking me so this part of here is highlighted. Right? Let me move myself out of the way. This part down here, this blue part is highlighted. That's asking me what parts of this shape do I want to extrude? And I can pick multiple parts, right? So I'm thinking about it. I'm drawing on the top of this shape. So I'm definitely going to want to do this part. I'm going to want to do that part. I'm going to want to do that part. And I'm going to want to do that part. And if I do all of those things, I don't want to go mid-plane anymore, right? So like I've already extruded this whole thing. So this is the whole shape. So now I want to go one direction only. And I don't want to build it farther out. I want to now go into the shape, so I want to flip it that way. I don't want to make it 38. Instead, this whole piece right here should be, when I look at this diagram, it should be 10.5, right? So I'm going to type in 100, 10.5. Tab, does that look right? Yeah, that looks right. Okay, so I'm going to hit OK. Awesome. I'm going to make another sketch on this face because now I'm going to just build out this little extra circle here and that little extra circle right there before I mirror them across the plane, right? So I'm going to click on this this face and I'm going to make a new sketch. Now I want to make a circle, and I'm going to want it to be. I want to be able to like center my circle right there, right? So if I hover there, it'll show up. Now I'm going to go out to the edge. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to do out to there. I'm going to have to dimension these things again. This one was 32, it says. That's cool. And this one is, no, and this one is 16. Okay. So now those are dimension. I'm going to do 2 more. Here, and this is going to go out to this edge. This is going to go out to here, and I'm going to dimension them as well, and these are 20 and 8. Awesome. All right, so now I'm going to make these ones pop out by an additional 5. So again, I'm going to go to Features, Extrude, and these ones I want to go out, but I don't want them to go 10.5. I want them just to go 5. I don't want midplane. I want blind. I want one direction and one direction only. Does that look right? Yeah, that looks right. Okay. I'm going to hit OK. All right. So we're almost done here, right? So I've got this feature. So if I click on these things, right, like I got that whole thing. I got this. And I got this. Those are 3 features, right? I'm going to want to take this feature and this feature. I'm going to highlight both of them using Control, and then I want to mirror them. I'm going to mirror them, right? And so it's asking me here, what is the mirror I want? And it tells me the features I'm going to mirror are boss extrude number 2 and number 3. That's what I picked. And the question here is, what is my mirror? Where is my mirror? So the reason I did mid-plane extrusion in the very beginning was because I wanted to use that mid-plane, that drawing plane, as my mirror. So I can't just, there's nowhere to select that, right? And so here I want you to see this. If it is transferred, as soon as I'm in this tool right here, it's transferred all of that stuff that used to be over here, all the history, all that material, blah, blah, blah. It transfers it over here. If I click on the expand arrow here, I can see all of those things that that are part of the history of my shape. So now if I highlight, if I kind of move over here, you can see it well. If I highlight that top plane right there, that's the original one I drew on, if I click on it, it's going to say that that's what I want to be my plane, and it shows me what it's going to look like, right? And I look on it, and that's going to mirror the entire feature. So we're used to mirroring in 2D, but you can, in SolidWorks, you can mirror in, you can take a whole feature, a whole three-dimensional feature, whether it's a cut, whether it's a solid part, you can mirror a feature in 3 dimensions, right? So it looks right. So I'm gonna hit OK. Looks good. All right, I'm gonna change my material. I think my material for this one is titanium. Not sure. Titanium. I'm gonna go over here just to make sure. Just to make sure. Titanium material, titanium mass 595.6 something. All right, so I'm going to go to edit material. Edit material. It's looking for titanium. Oh, it's not a titanium alloy. That's why I wasn't seeing it. It's down here, titanium. An alloy is just a mixture of, it's a mixture of more than one metal. That's what, so this is just titanium. This is not a titanium alloy. It's not titanium mixed with anything. It's just titanium. So, moment of truth. See if my mass is right. 595.5. There we go, people. All right, I hope you enjoyed this. So, clear things to know. Things I want you to realize from this video. One, it's important to think about how you're building the shape and what you're using as your planes that you're drawing on, because you might want to be strategic about it in the very beginning. So we've been thinking about where we kind of anchor our drawings, whether it's on the origin or centered at the origin. And now we're thinking about how do I build it up in a way that makes sense in 3 dimensions. So when you're extruding something, does it make sense to extrude it in one direction off the plane, or does it make sense to extrude it in 2 directions off the plane? Right? Second thing I wanted you to notice is, to learn about, is mirroring, because we're used to doing it in 2 dimensions, and now we can do it in 3 dimensions, whether it's a cut feature or a built, extruded, or revolved feature, right? So we can mirror different things. All right, everybody. I hope you are still loving your SolidWorks, and I hope you're having a great time with this. Have a great day, everybody.